Okay, wow. This is a pretty unusual yet simple looking Continental GT 650, right? Looks very, very simple and basic until you take a second look at some of the accessories that even I have, like the adjustable grips, the adjustable levers, the auxiliary lights, the turn signals, which are practically non-existent until you really squint your eyes and see them. I wanted to make a video on this since a very long time, but I was just postponing it due to some n number of reasons. Let me bring in the owner of this motorcycle. He can talk about all these accessories that he's installed on this bike and take us through with it. And this is the man himself, Sandeep. You must have known him from my Jaisalmer vlogs. It's time for you to talk about a little bit about your love for cafe racer, that is the Continental GT 650, because I too love the Interceptor 650 just as much as you love this bike. That's why we bought the second bike, Himalayan and Desert X, by the way.
I think we have very similar thinking when it comes to motorcycles.
Minimal yet tasteful.
Tastefully. Yeah, so this was definitely I think we are a bunch of people who are totally into love with the 650s from RE.
100%.
Amazing engine. And for me, actually, this bike was the reason to get back to motorcycling because there was a good gap of almost a decade when I was not riding at all.
Right.
Because I was working, busy with work and everything. And I had almost forgotten about motorcycling. This was me getting back into motorcycling, and I thought middleweight, decent power will be a great start, and a cafe racer because you can't really do long distance rides on these bikes. So I thought this will be a good fun to just go around the city, do weekend breakfast rides or whatever.
But you did do long distance on this.
I did.
Where did you take your bike? The very first tour that you bought it?
I took it to Ladakh.
Exactly. So you can do Ladakh on a GT 650 if you want to.
If you want to. I think for like most of us here, I think also the bigger deal is that most of our households are single bike households.
Correct.
Like you usually start with one motorcycle in the stable, unlike the Western countries where you have multiple bikes for different purposes. When you have one bike, this is what you got and take it wherever you want to take it. So at that time, I wanted to go to Ladakh. This was the only bike I had in my garage. So I took it to Ladakh.
I believe you did some extra on the tires for it to be able to handle those terrains, right?
Yes. So
what tires are you running right now?
So right now these are Pirelli Scorpion Rally STRs. More than the tires, I was worried about it being a tubed wheel. So while I was doing Ladakh, and I was doing a solo on this, so I just wanted to make sure that in case there's a punch or anything, I should be able to take care of it myself. So I started with Outex first.
You got the Outex
Outex, yeah. So I got Outex installed on these, especially for the Ladakh ride. And then I started thinking about changing the tires a bit because originally it came with the Pirelli Sportscom at that time.
Yes, yes.
C8s I think came much later. So the Sportscom tires were tubed and they were not that great for the gravelly stuff that we ride.
Softer compound, so yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I thought I need some dual purpose tires for this kind of a ride, and I think it'll make my life a little bit easier on the trip, especially with this bike. It was already a challenge.
Right.
But tires and then being them tubeless, it was a big help.
Right. So you have the Outex kit installed since what, 4 years now?
4 years now, yeah.
4 years now.
4 plus, yeah.
Any issues that you have faced so far?
None whatsoever. And zero punches also, actually.
And anything with the alignment and all that? Because a lot of people complain that they need to true their spokes again after the Outex and then it sort of loses out.
No issues at all for me
so
far.
So it's, if you get it done from a decent place, you will not have any complaints.
If somebody tells you they'll do it in a day, I think then they're not doing it the right way, is what I usually look at. If somebody says it'll take 2 to 3 days because it needs to dry up, there are multiple layers which needs to be done.
And they need to test it out also, again and again.
Yes. So when I did the Ladakh ride, I had zero punctures with this.
Right.
I don't know, I was lucky or maybe whatever. But yeah, so far Outex has performed very well. No leakages, no issues whatsoever.
I will start with the one thing that just stands out. That's the seat. Which seat is this one? And where you got it done? And the side panel bag also, because this is not Trip Machine.
This is not Trip Machine at all. Both the things. So at that time, I don't think Trip Machine was making seats for these bikes. Now they are.
Okay.
So
because at that time, I didn't mean to cut you off, but then at that time they were making these hand grips,
yeah,
right?
So these are definitely Trip Machine.
Right.
These are installed from Trip Machine. The seat actually is the original touring seat that you get on GT from the RE itself.
Oh, it's that one only.
Yeah, so if you'll notice the shape of it is
Yes,
actually the touring
yes,
seat.
yes.
So what I did is, because I was going for a long one, so I thought how can I make it more comfortable. So initially I ordered a seat cover from Sahara Seats, if you know. I think they're Hyderabad based.
I also considered them once at one point.
So somebody said they do really good job of these things. So I ordered a seat cover with a gel pad in it. And when it arrived, I didn't really like the look of it. So I reached out to one of my client who is into leather designing. And they never work on bikes. They only do designer stuff. So I asked him, can you fix me up, because I really want a leather seat for my bike. He's like, I'll send guys, let them have a look at it, what it is and how it is, can it be done. I gave him the design that I wanted, this kind of a stitching, this kind of a look for the bike, a ribbed look.
Yeah.
And so what I did is I tore off the Sahara seat cover. I removed the gel pad out of that and gave him this, that can you stitch the gel pad in a leather seat cover for me. And thankfully this was the product. So it still has that gel pad in it installed. And side by side I also asked him like if he can do a small leather bag, a side bag for me, so that I can keep like basic small tools or a cleaning cloth or some stuff on the ride, because it already has a very limited space to put luggage on.
There is no storage capacity on these motorcycles.
Exactly. And so I traveled to Ladakh with a small tail bag, which was I think a Kriega 30 liters.
Very nice.
And a small tank bag was 5 liters, and this.
So this was your very first modification after the Pirelli STRs and the seat and the side bag and the Outex kit. That's 4.
That, and also for the Ladakh ride, I also installed the aux lights, because I thought I might have to ride at night sometimes. So I wanted to be sure of that. And then the brake lever and clutch lever, I think I changed at that time only, because I got it installed the same workshop.
So most of the modifications you did was 4 years ago. After that, you've not done anything until recently.
Yes.
When we can see some add-ons in this one, which is notably the Denali aux lights.
I changed the aux lights.
The earlier ones were
the barracks or barracks. They were the earlier ones. They were okay. But these were way better, and these are like much smaller. D2s are like much smaller.
Right.
So they're almost invisible on the bike in the black frame, which I like. So this happened later. Indicators happened later.
So these indicators are non-existent.
Non-existent, but until they light up.
Then they light up. They're brighter than the sun. These are Kellerman Auto indicators.
So those are Kellerman. Those I got installed. Also, I changed the headlight later.
Right.
This is Bach motorcycles. Really sweet. Really tucked in.
How difficult was it to put these headlights on this setup? Because in order to install this headlight, you must have had to change, of course, I can see that. There is a headlight bracket also installed.
Yes, absolutely. So I checked with the Bach motorcycle. I reached out to these guys. I think they're a France-based company which makes parts for RE bikes. This headlight, they don't make it for RE per se. But I did reach out to them because this is a headlight which I really liked. It had a bit of classy, minimal design, retro looking at the same time, but amazing throw. So I reached out to them and I said, this is the headlight I want to put on my Continental GT. Will it fit? They suggested me to get this bracket with it, and they were sweet enough to exchange emails and really sorted all the queries. So that's how the headlight happened. Yes. So what happened is, because it doesn't come with the casing like the stock headlight, so all the wiring and everything had to be taken out of that and kind of taped in,
just
tucked in together with the headlight.
Wrapped around the behind of the headlight, so that it is somewhat of an element proof.
And now if you see the headlights, like a much flatter and cleaner look for a cafe racer. Right. So I thought this was totally worth the investment.
100%. And then these are the Kellerman ones. They are
the
even
tiny ones.
smaller than the indicators that I have, but they are really, really small. But it really adds to the minimal look of this motorcycle and really accentuates that.
I've been stopped twice by the cops.
Oh, you have?
Yeah. Twice asking about that you don't have indicators on your bike, and then I showed them I do.
That is awesome.
One guy was like, okay, whatever. He let me go. The second guy was actually kind of made sense. He said that this is really close because there has to be a certain distance between two indicators, so the person from behind can figure it out.
Right.
Which I do understand. It totally makes sense what he said.
Rule of thumb is, if it is wider than your number plate, then it can really be visible to the...
I do understand where he was coming from, and it made sense, although I didn't change it later or do anything about it.
And you have a very different tail light as well.
Yeah, so
Because this is not available. So all these are really international, well-made products. This one is a desi jugaad.
yeah, so this tail light, I couldn't find a decent tail tidy for this one. They used to have those round ones which comes in
Yes.
Meteor and those kind of stuff. I didn't really like it. I wanted a bit minimal, a flatter kind of a tail light. So this tail light I found in Karol Bagh in some shop, and I just liked it, the look of it, and it's very sleek. Really kind of completes the look from the back.
It's
And
fitted with very minimal things on it.
yeah, so if you take a closer look, it's like literally there are cable ties, and there's a foam which just put on the top to hide the wiring, so it doesn't look shabby. And this taillight was not even for this bike, so some bike, I don't know what it was. So this metal frame kind of was bent to make it look like it's
Would you
sits
recommend
perfectly.
riding this bike in rain or puddles?
No, with these tires, no, because they throw so much muck from the back. But at the same time, this looks gorgeous from the behind, you know.
Wow.
And this was only $600. I can't believe the amount of money I spent on the indicators and headlight,
Okay.
and then the tail lights.
Speaking of the costing, that's the cheapest one that you have.
Yes,
We'll start with that. The tail light cost 600 rupees.
$600, and that's why I always say, like, it's never about the money. If it fits right, if it feels right to you, it's not really about the money. If
True.
you like it, go with it, no matter where you find it.
Then moving on to the front, how much did the custom seat cost?
This is not expensive at all because he was my own client and he was very sweet. So I also asked him to make tank straps for me. I'll probably give you a
has
picture
that,
of that.
yeah, he has that.
So you
I'll
can post
overlay the
that.
picture somewhere
I
here.
removed those because they leave marks if you leave them for longer. So I removed them for now. The leather tank straps look amazing. So the straps, the bag and the seat cover costed me, I think, $7,500. Because he was a client and I knew him personally, so he didn't really, he's like, just pay the labor, forget about everything else.
Nice, nice. Then moving on to the tires, how much the set costed you? Because these are not stock size. This is 18
150.
inches, 150 in the back and 120
120
in
at
the front.
Yeah. So thankfully I didn't need to change anything to put these tires. And anyways, like for these bikes, very difficult to find the right tires, right? Actually, I bought them just after COVID, and that time we were not getting any international tires in the country because there was some kind of a ban, there was some issue going on. So these costed me quite a bit. It's a bit embarrassing
Which
to
is
accept.
embarrassing. I spent 2.75 lakh rupees on my modifications. So people can see that.
Yeah, so these tires put together, both of them, the pair costed me, I think, 45 grand.
Which
at
is
that
decent
time.
for Pirellis.
Right now, I think if you can get the same pair for 36 or 37,
Yeah.
I mean, that's still not cheap, but at that time, I think there was a premium because they were not available. One of them actually came from Chennai,
Nice.
but I got in Delhi.
That's awesome.
So it took some time to
Moving
put
on
together.
slightly ahead, how much did you pay for these Denali?
Denali's, I
lights.
think these are D2s are, the clamps and everything put together is around, I think, 24, 25 grand.
The entire set is included in the 24 grand.
Yeah, so they usually sell the clamps separately, the lights separately. So, but put together, it's around
24.
25 grand. Yeah.
Okay. And then moving on to these bar and mirrors, because these are also
Yeah, so these are basically from the old GT 535, if you know.
Classic
I love them,
GT, OG.
because they are very compact. I can rotate them outside if I need a better look. It has anti-glare. They look very smart, very like goes with the whole look. And especially on the clip-ons, I think they look amazing.
So these one costed you about?
These were, I think, around 7 or 8,000. Because these were not available. These are like, I think,
OEM parts.
aluminum
I know,
OEM parts, and they
OEM.
were not available easily.
Even today, the OEM bar and mirrors for Bear 650, they cost about 6,750
Yeah, so
rupees,
these were, I
something like
think,
that. Then these indicators that are Kellerman indicators.
Kellerman's, I think all 4 of them put together, they costed me, they were 27?
27K.
27K, I think.
Okay.
27, 28K.
27K. The Bach headlights and the headlight brackets.
Yeah, so people will laugh at me.
Why? They're already laughing at me. I've done so many random shit on my motorcycle that people will say, what was the need of clutch arm cover from Tech Bike Parts that costed 5,500 rupees?
Yeah. The headlight for this bike, I mean, this particular headlight, I think they don't have it in stock anymore, by the way. Somebody else has asked me about it, and
It's
I
not
tried
in
to
stock
check,
anymore?
But they don't sell this anymore. This one costed me upwards of 60 grand.
60,000 rupees for the headlight, which is
Yeah.
pretty sweet, I would say. And even more so, it makes sense because now it's a limited edition motorcycle.
It is. And
Because
the
this color is also discontinued.
but the funny thing is, like, I didn't even import it. If I imported it here,
Yes, you will have to
there are
pay
taxes
customs.
and everything. Besides that, it was 60 grand. So it was a bit of a pinch for me as well. But I really like the look of it. I think you can probably take a close up and then show it around. Yeah.
Are we missing out anything on? the bike?
Other than these parts, what
You're
I've
running
done,
the OEM brakes also, right?
OEM
the brake
brakes
pads. Okay.
that I have not changed. I mean, obviously I've changed, but they're still OEMs. The levers I've
Oh, yeah,
changed.
levers.
These are K-Speed Diablo. These I imported from Thailand. I think they were around 10 to 12,000. I think. Other than that, I don't think I've done anything major. I've always wanted to do the exhaust, but I'm not able to kind of find the right thing.
You'll get it.
Yeah, I know, we've been discussing it.
Yes.
So initially I was really interested in the SNS because I love the sound of SNS, because all the videos and people who have posted with the SNS exhaust, I really like. I think they really suit this bike. But also the problem with the SNS is they do a 2:1 in India, I think. The
Okay.
full system I'm talking about.
Right.
They have slip-ons, I didn't want slip-ons. Full system, they do a 2:1, which I didn't want. I
You want
wanted
2:2 only.
2:2 only, because I think that goes really well with the twin.
Yes, yes. It has that.
Yeah.
It's a twin, so it has to be a
Yeah,
twin.
So I really hope to change the exhaust next and
To?
the suspension.
Which brand? Exhaust.
Probably powerage, because SNS doesn't make what I want. So I think the second best option I have is the powerage, because I really like the subtle bassy sound of it.
Right.
Because I'm not into loud exhaust, honestly.
Same. Neither am I. So
Yeah.
with the
It
baffles,
should be like
works
good enough
amazing.
for me.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't want to disturb anybody.
And then YSS suspensions or all-in-ones?
Yeah. So Olin, I'm very interested in Olin. I mean, the pricing is pretty much same, I think, for both of them.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Olins, I'm only interested because the rear shocks, they do it in blue, if I'm not wrong.
Aesthetics matters more
Yeah,
than what you spend
and
on
that
it.
Looks very close to the blue stripe that I have on the tank.
Yes.
I think they look really nice on this. Yeah, and this color is not like now. It's not.
This
in
is
the current run.
the Ice Queen is discontinued.
Ice Queen is discontinued,
Same as
right.
Baker Express.
Yeah,
You're running
exactly.
limited edition
So
motorcycles.
I think these were like some great colors that they had initially. I mean, the new ones are also decent, but
Right.
I really like how
No,
it
but I
looks.
love the look of the bike.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's pretty much. That's all I have.
That's amazing. So, if you have any more questions, drop down in the comments below. I would personally see to it that he replies to them all.
I'll do that.
Because he also has a YouTube channel by the name of Kamamoto.
which
and
is
I'll-
non-existent.
No, it is existent very much. I'm asking him to put more videos, which he will. He's just made a video on Ducati, which will come out in his channel.
Let's see when that
And
comes out.
so yeah, if you have any more questions about these parts, their costs, their logistical things, drop down in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, do hit the like button and consider subscribing. Thank you so much for watching.
Thank you so much.
Kamamoto out. Come on, let's do some B-rolls.
Yeah.